So, Dunk, good to see you again.
Hey Rob, how you doing?
Hey, all good. So, next up on today's menu is the two pants from the Escape collection. And I know these sound quite interesting because basically what you've done is catered for the more modern audience of, say, I guess, outdoor enthusiasts who maybe are coming from a more gym-based background, using things like leggings, but combining that with your obviously knowledge of, well, how to make, I guess, like hard-wearing, comfortable trekking pants.
Yeah, exactly. So we've definitely seen, and I'm sure most of the guys watching will have done that over the last 12 months, particularly during lockdown as well, that there's been a lot of people trying hill walking for the first time. You see a lot of kind of yoga-based brands and sports brands being worn out on the hill. So what we wanted to do is kind of add some, we're looking at our age demographic at the moment as well and kind of bringing that down a little bit and trying to target that new audience, as you said. So we've developed two new styles, basically looking at kind of popular styles that have kind of transferred across, but then putting our kind of Sprayway hill spin on them and our kind of fabrics and things. So first product would be the Escape Cropped. So this is a pant that you see kind of mainly in the kind of yoga sphere, slightly kind of looser fit with a elasticated calf. So with this, it's made from our Tech Weave 135 fabric, which is the fabric used generally through the Escape collection. It's got a nice sort of polyamide elastane combination in there, so it's got a nice amount of stretch to it. It's got a DWR coating on there, which from 22 will upgrade into a PFC-free DWR. You've got a nice flat front waist, so if you're wearing it with the rucksack straps, for example, there's no irritation there. Slight elastication to the side as well. Two open pockets that are nice and deep with part mesh lining for ventilation as well in there too. And then this is obviously be illustrated better in the images within the that you might edit in, but with the elastication at the bottom there, you've got a nice thick piece of elastication, and it allows you to almost wear them down at the base of your calf or roll them up towards your knee as well, quite easily and quite effectively too. So this is definitely something that we've seen out on the hill, particularly out in Europe as well, being worn more and more. And it's kind of a nice option for those that kind of want something between a pant and a short. Don't want the short, but then don't want to wear the full length pant on a hotter day. So
it's a more convenient version of a zip-off pant, and also looks substantially better than a zip-off pant. I hasten.
Yeah, the kind of traditional capri with those kind of just cut loose at the bottom. With this elastication, just gives you that bit more of adjustment as well, and you kind of ruche them to how you feel comfortable with. Some of them slightly different in terms of what their requirements are.
Great.
Okay.
So the next option you've got looks like a slimmer line version.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try these on for you, unfortunately, I'm afraid. So I know you're excited about that, but well, this is probably the area we've seen most crossover is in leggings. A lot of people are transitioning from being in the gym, and gyms have been closed, and getting out onto the trail and the paths at weekend and using leggings. And obviously leggings are super versatile. We see them a lot now in kind of every day, particularly for women. So what we've done here, we've taken a legging kind of silhouette, but again added our kind of sort of more technical hill features to it. So with this one, you've got a interlocking polyamide elastane fabrics. It's got 4-way stretch in there, but it's got an Aqua X treated yarn, which basically diffuses the water more efficiently. So it's about 30% more cooling than a standard polyester tight, and about 15% more cooler than a standard polyamide tight. So on kind of hot aerobic days on the hill and through hikes and stuff like that, you're going to keep you cooler for longer. And in terms of its wicked and quick drying performance too. You've got a nice wide waistband at the top, again elasticated waistband, gives you some nice support and coverage there too. And again, it's nice and clean, so if you're wearing a rucksack strap with it, it's not uncomfortable. You've got this nice big stretch mesh pocket on the side there that will easily swallow a smartphone and other hill essentials and keep them sort of snug. It's got a nice elastane bound top as well there, so it keeps all in place. And then elastane bound hem at the bottom, again with great recovery in terms of its stretch. So it's kind of taking that sort of classic legging that you see a lot of people out wearing, whether it's a high street legging or one from a sports brand, and then putting a kind of hill spin on it and sort of fabric spin on it.
I certainly know that Penny, my wife, lives in a pair of leggings, and again, a lot of these, as you say, they're not by brands that necessarily the ones that we think of as being outdoors.
No, exactly that, yeah.
Traditional sense of the word. And I think that the drawback that she's found, without wishing to put words in her mouth, she should be the one here interviewing me, I hate being on camera, is that the problem with those, though, sometimes is that the yoga studio provides a very different environment to, say, for instance, if you are climbing or if you're scrambling, for instance, or if you're hill walking, but, happen to, rub by rough rock or, rub yourself on the side of a barbed wire fence or something like that, as two regular examples of things I've probably done stupidly over the years.
Yeah.
The level of durability you get out of them aren't what you basically really need when you're out on the hill.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And so it sounds like you've helped to address those within the sort of fabrics used and within the cut and the rest.
Definitely, yeah, with the polyamide that used in there as well, in terms of the durability, and then the kind of the stretch and the return to the recovery on that as well is really good on these two. So you can get leggings where they'll particularly the cheaper end where they stretch out of shape quite quickly and they're basically useless quite quickly. So yeah, that's taken care of. I think the big thing with these is that it's the cooling technology, the Aquax and the fabric. That's the big unique sort of selling point for them in terms of keeping the next to skin cool.
My mind is still looking forward to the principle of getting warm again after what feels like a very, very long winter, Dunk.
Yeah, we don't have the sunshine in here in Hyde, so we're not used to that. So.
Well, those are both out probably in and around the time of these being released.
Yeah, I think in the next few weeks they'll be hitting the stores basically for this season. And again, both sold in really, really well for us. We have great success with our legwear collections here in the UK. Our shell collection and legwear are kind of two core areas for us and areas that we're well known for too. In terms of colours on those, we've got a couple of options. You've got blazer in the legging and black, the classic black. And then in the escape crops, you've got the black and then again the dark laurel colourway as well, the sort of lighter green in that too.
It's great to see the Sprayway range increasing again. And also, I mean, again, your focus, I think you've often been very good at actually designing products, the women's specific products as well. And I guess the escape collection encapsulates that quite neatly. Definitely
does, yeah. And our sales, overall, it's a 50-50 split. And maybe 10 years ago, it might have been more a kind of 70-30, whereas now it's definitely, even we have a season or two where it's probably more reflected in the sort of women's sales than men's. So, yeah, that's definitely a growth area. And it's not all just like for like and shrink it and pink it. Everything's well thought out and designed specifically for the sort of female audience. And, it's kept kind of separate. So, it's definitely an area that we've concentrated quite heavily on over the last few years. That's great. Thanks for taking us through the range. And I would say I'm looking forward to using these, but these may well be a product that I can get you a pair rustled up, Rob, if you want. I'm not sure if you do my size, but thanks ever so much, Doug. Cool. All right. Cheers, Rob. Cheers. Bye.